What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all a Saturday update here of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at 6,222. We're down 2.35%. And I had 6 things that I wanted to go over with you today. And of most importance is this trend line right here. And guys, I'm huge on trendline breaks. I've talked to you about it. I'll play positions on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, 1 day, and whenever I see a trendline break and it happens either to the upside or the downside and it's accompanied with a little bit of volume, to me, a lot of the times they end up playing out extremely well. And what we had yesterday was a downside break from this green trend line that we've been looking at for quite a while now. Our first touch at the bottom was around March 12th. We got our second touch. That was around March 16th. And ever since then, we had been moving up in that uptrend. But what we talked about was that volume that was decreasing. That's what was giving us the warning sign that we may have this break to the downside, and we broke to the downside. So this is an area now that we want to be extremely cautious in, because as you know, trend line breaks out of something like this that's been intact now for, we call it, guys, roughly about 2 weeks or so. Whenever that breaks, there's going to be force behind that. And that's kind of what you're seeing right now as we take a look at this trend line break right here. You can see that it came on a pretty strong candle, and it also came on a little bit more volume. So what happened was we ended up losing our trend line as well as that 50 moving average on the 4 hour time frame. That's going to be at 6,414 is what we wanted to hold. And I talked to you yesterday about the fact that if you're in a position, you want to stay in your position until you saw that trend line break as well as that break of the 50 moving average, and that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. So I got a lot more I'm going to get into here with you guys. If you get some from these videos, you like me covering this, like, subscribe, help this channel out, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today. All the people who give me the 100 likes, 150 likes that we get, guys, you're the ones who help keep this channel moving, so I really appreciate you. But as we're looking at this, what you can see is we had so much weakness up here, we could not get up above that $6,800 that I was harping on for quite a while. We hit $6,800, we came back down, we set a higher low, and then from March 24th all the way till about March 27th, right in this range, we were just moving sideways, we were consolidating, then we had our downside break. And what you typically have, guys, and this is what I want you to be aware of, okay? So say today's a day, sometimes you'll have a trend line break, you'll drop down, then you can come back up and test the bottom side of that trend line before you fall down again. That's a possibility. The next possibility is that we just continue to keep falling. Other possibility is we fell to where we are at here. We went down to about $6,000. We moved sideways, and then we potentially could have another drop again. And also, guys, this is cryptocurrency. You know how it works. We could drop down. We could move sideways in a BART pattern. Then we blast back up through some type of whale manipulation. But when you're just looking at the technicals right now, you're having a trend line break. We were moving up. Price action was moving up. Volume was moving down. That was a huge sign for us. We could not get up above $6,800. So that was another sign there. And right now what I'm looking for is for us to hold, we'll call it $5,700. This area right down in here, $5,700 is what we need to hold. If $5,700 doesn't hold, then I'd be looking down to around $5,000. And what's also unique, we've been looking at the Fibonacci levels. And if we pull our Fibonacci, we go from our high of around 10,500 all the way down to our low here. You can see we almost made it back up to that 0.618, which is common. That's around $7,200. A lot of the times, even downside moves or upside moves, you get that retracement to that 0.618. So you can see we fell so hard, we've had our reaction now back to that 0.618. And then sometimes you can actually fall back to that 0.382, which would put us around that $5,700, maybe before we start getting another move to the upside. But right now, guys, we're in a really tough position. You can see my upside alarm there was at $7,000, didn't get close to that. My downside alarm that we ended up putting in yesterday did end up getting triggered, and that was a warning for me. I ran as fast as I could. I was doing some dishes in the kitchen, heard that alarm go off, trend line broke, I was out of my position. Now I'm sitting there back in cash waiting for an opportunity, a good opportunity to catch this after it falls some more. In my opinion, I feel like we still could go down even lower, because it's troubling, guys. When you see price going up and this volume's really tailing off like it is, that's a huge sign for you that things are not going that well, because you're not having that large buying pressure. You're not having those whales step in and say, okay, we just set a higher low, now let's blast up, try to set a higher high and come up here and get over top of that 200 moving average on the 4 hour time frame, which is at $7,300, and that just did not happen. So that's definitely something we need to be aware of when we're looking at the 4 hour time frame here. Our relative strength, we are at 40 right now, and you can see we are pointing down. We're starting to have that downward pressure. So that's something we want to be aware of and keep an eye on. Our stock RSI, we are at the bottom here. It almost looks like we double bottom, getting a little move to the top here, getting a little bit of a bullish cross. But what you have to remember is it's not coming on a lot of volume right now. That's what's missing. When I see a higher low being set, I like to see it set with a stock cross on heavy volume and a bullish reversal candlestick pattern, and we're not seeing that right now. Right now, I feel like if you do jump in and you just try to buy this potentially could be trying to catch falling knives. So just be careful, guys. Like I said, we can blast up to the upside, but right now the technicals are showing we couldn't get over 6,800. So that means we need to retrace more. We need more buyers to step in to hopefully get us up above that area. And then on our MACD, we had our bearish cross to the downside. You can see the histogram starting to neutral out a little bit more, but we have not had a positive cross back to the upside yet. So that's Bitcoin on the 4 hour, and what we're going to do next is just look out on the 1 day time frame. So on the 1 day time frame here, I want to throw on some moving averages. First, we're talking about our death cross here, our 50 crossing down through our 200. We definitely have to pay attention to that. That's significant for us. We got rejected at our 20 EMA here in purple. You can see that, and that was at $6,619. And then we also had our 40 moving average. So now all of these are acting as overhead resistance for us, and they're pressing down upon us. So they're pressure now, just like we talked about in terms of the streams or the rivers right here. The river was moving up. We are finding support off that 20, setting higher lows and higher highs coming in. And now we're seeing rejection off that 20. Typically, guys, when you're trending on the 1 day time frame, if you're in an uptrend, you'll stay up above that 20 EMA. If you're in a downtrend, you'll stay below it. You can see even up here how we hit it and got rejected to the downside. So right now, me personally, I'm out of my positions, and I am not jumping back in until I get some type of confirmation of where we may end up going, because the moves in this space happen so fast. And right now is the time I believe you need to protect your capital, guys. There's a lot going on around the world right now, and you can also see people potentially liquidating their Bitcoin or whatnot because they have to pay mortgages, they have to pay car payments, they have to, take their kid to the doctor, whatever that you have to do. So there's going to be some liquidation in that. This isn't a normal time that we're going into the halving in. So that's what we have to be aware of. Guys, with the halving, anything could happen. We could be suppressed all the way down to $3,000 2 weeks before the halving, that all hell could break loose and we run up to, $10,000. That's just how this space is. You literally can look at 1 to 5 minute candles where Bitcoin has moved $1,000. Take a look at this candle right here, from $7,900 all the way down to $4,500 in one candle, in a 1 day candle. That's how crazy this space is. So when anyone tells you that they know exactly what's happening, guys, in this space, they're lying to you. No one has the wizard's hat. No one knows exactly what's going to happen apart from the whales who have the billions and billions of dollars to be able to move this market, or the market movers. So that's what you always have to be careful of. You always have to be aware of that, and you need to protect yourself the best that you can. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. Didn't want to take too much of your time. Happy Saturday to you. Let me know down below, are you in a position now? Did you sell out at the trendline break? Are you waiting for a reaction back to it? Do you believe we're going to start climbing? Right now, though, guys, the indicators, everything that I'm seeing, we are definitely in that bearish territory right now. You can see our RSI on the 1 days at 42. So that's something we need to pay attention to. Our stock right up here, we are actually getting that downward cross. Candles were really tight up here, like spinning top candles, and we're starting to get pressed to the downside there. So that may be more downward pressure. We're at 86, 52, and 93 right there. Then I'll do one more for the people who are still here. We'll look at our awesome oscillator. Awesome oscillator is starting to move to the upside there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But overall, guys, main thing is to protect your capital in a situation like this. Be as safe as you can out there and really wait for that confirmation so that you can ride these trends. It's all about riding the trends. And if you're getting these trend line breaks, guys, they can be extremely significant, just like here. Just to show you one more example here. So we'd even take it from there. Here's a valid trend line right there. We had more than 2 touches, and you can see once we broke that, that was it. That's how fast it happened. So, these are things that I want to teach people the best that I can. I'm trying to learn them myself. And, we're just going to have to see if we do find support off that. We'll call it $5,700 range if we do go back down to that area. So pay attention, guys. Be safe. Be cautious. That's the main thing that I can tell you in this space, is just protect your capital the best that you can. So, guys, God bless you all. Have a wonderful Saturday. I apologize for keeping you a little longer, but when I think about these things, I just want to share them with you so that you can incorporate them into your trading as well. So take care, guys. Love you all. God bless. Let me know down below what you're doing.